Gotta say, man, there's a reason why I do not want to buy a house in California. Not only is it more expensive to live here, but California is more susceptible to having these kinds of things taking place in their cities. Now, granted, I do not like to live in the cities. I personally live in a city right now. I do not like it. Granted, it's more relaxed type of city in terms of riots and protests because we don't have riots. At least we didn't think so until we had a riot over the whole George Floyd thing when this whole thing started. But it's a little bit more relaxed. People here do not take that nonsense. But hey, never know, man. Never know. That's why I do not like the cities, especially in California. Now we're seeing these activists, and I say activists in quotes because I don't think they're activists. I think they're terrorists at this point. The terrorist organizations. They're engaging in terrorist activities because they are intimidating people. The thing is, though, is that even in suburbs of California, I'm not going to be safe. The house is not going to be safe because they're going to be going to the suburbs. Once they're done with the cities, what's next? The suburbs? Then what? The rural areas? That is why I'm not a big fan of living in California. I'm not. That is why I do not want to live in California because, again, it's expensive to buy a house here, but most importantly, though, I don't want it to get destroyed by a bunch of these activists who think that they're owed something just because of their skin color. I'm sorry, but I do not want to live here. But these people, man, I'm telling you, they're becoming more bold. I think because the cops are just arresting them, and then the people, and then the Justice Department is just letting them go. Some cops are not even doing anything. So I gotta ask myself, man, at what point are the people gonna start stepping up and doing the job of the police? Here's the thing: cops right now are in a very vulnerable spot. Now, myself, I support I support the idea of having a police department, but personally, myself, I am not a big fan of the police in recent months, and I'll tell you why. The police have been enforcing, at least in my state, they've been enforcing a constitutional decree by the governor. However, they've been letting these people gather in mass based on the death of a man they never even know. Okay, that's one. Like I said, I respect the institution of the police, but I'm not a big fan of the police department in my seat right now. Many of them are enforcing unconstitutional decrees, and then they're arresting the people that are defending themselves against the mob. Yeah, that you heard that right. Well, that's the problem. So the cops, they're in a very, very, very fragile situation right now. They're walking on thin ice when it comes to me. I support the institution of a police department. I just don't like the cops that are enforcing these unconstitutional decrees by my governor. Like I said, I live in California. God forbid these people come to where we live. I defend the house that I'm living in, and then I get arrested because I'm defending my property. Even though these activists were trying to break in, even though these activists are threatening my family, I'll get in trouble because I was defending my property the way I see fit, and that was with a firearm. Yeah, like I said, these cops are in a very, very fragile state right now. These cops, not only are they refusing to arrest these people in many of these cities, but they're not even doing anything at best. They're just standing there, doing nothing. They're letting these people do whatever they want. So I must ask you, you want people to defend you? Then do your job. Don't arrest the people that are defending their properties from these lunatics. Arrest the people that are engaging in the violence, that are literally burning buildings down. Arrest those people. If you have to arrest them again, well, I mean, go on ahead. That's your job. That's what you're getting paid for, arresting criminals. But hey, that's just me. Well, let's see what's going on. Apparently, activists are now storming neighborhoods and telling white residents to give black people their homes. Well, right now it's just white people. What about Hispanics that are not buying into this Black Lives Matter nonsense? Are you going to tell me to give up my home now? Well, you're going to have to take it from me. That's for one. Anyways, let's see what's going on. Black Lives Matter activists stormed a neighborhood area in Seattle earlier this week where they shouted obscenities at white residents whom they accused of gentrification and stealing their property, telling them to give black people back their homes. And here's the thing. Gentrification, if you're not aware, is when rich people go to a low-income area and then they revitalize the place. And essentially, the buildings become more newer, they become cleaner, and obviously, it becomes more expensive to live there because now people want to live there, right? Demand goes up, price goes up as well. Well, what happens is that either way, you can't win with these people. Gentrification means white people moving into a poor neighborhood, therefore it's racist. And then white flight means white people living up, and when there's white people living in an area because of black people, therefore it's racist too. You can't win. So I really don't care whether or not I think it's gentrification. They move in, it's racist. They move out, it's racist because they're living in a neighborhood of black people. But anyways, let's keep going. All you white mother effers get the F out of our neighborhoods. We can go back to whatever they said. Apparently, they couldn't even say that. Said when activists yelled, get the F out, and give us our shit back. Give us our shit back and get the F out and give us our shit back. I'm sorry, man, but you lost it. Too bad. I have a document that says I'm the owner of this property. You want it? Buy it from me, and I'm not gonna sell it cheap. Pay the fee, another activist said. Open your purse. Give this back, man. We coming for reparations. The first activist appeared to yell, give us our shit back, give us our equity back. Sorry, man. Hey, it's not your house. I'll tell you that right now. You want my house? You pay me. You pay me, and I'm not gonna sell it to you at the price that I sold it. I'm gonna sell it to you however the hell I want it. And if that's too much for you, well, too bad. Get the hell off my property then. But if that's the case, you want to buy it? You want this property? You want this house? Then pay me money. Pay me cash. And I don't want a down payment. I want all the money in cash right now. 300K plus, I want that money right now. You want this house? You want this property? Give me the money. And if you don't have the money, get the hell out before I start shooting. Give us your house. Give black people back their homes. You're sitting there comfortable as F, and help gentrify this neighborhood. I used to live in this neighborhood, and my family was pushed out. And you're sitting up there having a good time with your other white friends. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you got moved out. I'm sorry that you got pushed out. Well, that's the thing. No one wants to live in a very shitty neighborhood. That's the thing. No one wants to live in a very shitty neighborhood. That's why you move to a different place. Find a place where you want to live in. You want to live in a shitty neighborhood? There's a bunch of shitty neighborhoods. I recommend go to Chicago, San Francisco, LA, downtown LA to be more specific. I don't want to live in a shitty neighborhood. I'm willing to pay good money to not live in a shitty neighborhood. Yeah, you heard me right. I do not want to live in a shitty neighborhood, and that's coming from a Hispanic, mind you. But anyways, let's keep going. Hey, you work for Amazon, don't you? You work for Amazon, don't you? Because the majority of the people that live in Central District now work for Amazon because it's easier to commute. Well, guess what? The guy you work for is part of the effing problem too. So let's not act like you are oblivious to this shit because you knew about it all along. You're okay with it, but guess what? We're not, and we're bringing it to your front door. So what? So what the f do you plan to do about it? I'll tell you what I plan on doing about it. You step 1 foot. You place 1 foot on my property. You get a 22 to the head. And granted, you might not get killed to 22. I mean, it's not as lethal. It's literally 22 caliber is like the smallest type of caliber ammunition you can get. But I'll probably aim it at the head. Maybe give you some brain damage. That way you can forget what happened. But you do not go threatening people about the properties, man. But again, this is why I think Black Lives Matter is losing its support. It's not about George Floyd anymore. They're taking over neighborhoods. They're killing people. They're attacking people. They're shooting up places. They're looting. You expect me to support that movement? I'm sorry, but no. Not to mention, if I disagree with your methods, but I support your movement, I'm gonna get attacked easily, like those two old ladies. Those two old ladies, they supported the movement, but because they didn't agree with the violent methods, they got attacked by the movement they supported. So I figured, if I'm gonna support the movement but not the tactics, I might as well not support the movement at all, because I'm gonna get attacked for it regardless. The only time when I won't get attacked is when I support the violence, and I'm not in favor of violence at all. But anyways, another activist said, we want it all. We want everything that we're supposed to have, period, and then some, too, because everything we're supposed to have ain't enough. It damn sure ain't enough not for all the years that we didn't have to suffer. It's damn sure ain't enough. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, that's serious. Like, yeah, too many likes, bro. You really need to learn how to speak English. But yeah, you're not entitled to anything. Fun fact, you're not entitled to anything. You lost something, maybe because you were irresponsible with it. Oh, you lost your driver's license because you were too busy drinking while you were driving? It's not the white man's fault. It's your goddamn fault because you made a very bad decision for once. You're not entitled to anything. You want something, you gotta work hard for it. Yeah, you might have to work 2 jobs. You might have to work 3 jobs maybe. But hey, if you think it's worth it, why are you complaining? Why are you complaining? Like, really? Every time when I get a paycheck, I put $250 into my savings account every month. Those $250, I could spend on something else. I could spend it on new clothes, new shoes. No, I could spend it on that. But no, I'm denying myself those $250 that I'm putting into my savings account because I know that in the future it's all going to be worth it. I know that in the future I'm going to get that money, put it as a down payment for a house, That way I can have a family in there. I can pay for that house, own a property for once. Yeah, that's the thing we gotta do. We gotta make sacrifices. In the real world, that's how it works. You don't get to have everything you want and then spend. You can't just have your cake and eat it too. That's the thing. So to these activists, you think that someone giving you their house is not enough? Well, too bad. If that's the case, then I'm not giving you my house anyway. I wouldn't have given you in the first place. These activists, like I said, they even openly admitted, even if you give them their house, it's still not enough. But yeah, that's why I don't support this movement. That's why when I look at Black Lives Matter, all I see is a bunch of babies who are over entitled, who are fighting for the so-called death of a man they don't even know. Not to mention, they're not even fighting for his death anymore. It's just about putting in their Marxist agenda. Well, let me know what you guys think. What would you do if these activists came to your neighborhood and say they demand your property? What would be your response? Would it be similar to mine? Hopefully, it will. And do you support the idea of a police department? Do you support the idea, but are you kind of like me that are kind of fed up with police enforcing these unconstitutional decrees by their governors to come to the lockdown, where these cops are arresting the people defending their homes rather than arresting the people who are destroying their homes? Let me know what you guys see in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, share this video, and I will see you guys in a bit in regards to an incident that took place near the area where I live in Anaheim, California. I live in Santa Ana, but it's very near. So we're going to be talking about that in a more personal level, and I'll see you guys in a bit.